Hey there, amazing listeners. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Transform Yourself, the podcast that is about empowering you to shed those stubborn pounds and embrace your best self. We are your host, Kacy and Tyler, and you know me as the Calorie Deficit Queen. We have lost over 130 pounds at this point, and we've kept it off for many years. We use the 4 M's of fitness: mind shift, meal shift, micro habits, and muscle building to create attainable and sustainable weight loss. So if you are a fitness enthusiast, a beginner, maybe you're curious about making positive changes, Transform Yourself is your go-to source for inspiration, information, and a good dose of motivation. And today we're diving into a topic that could be the reason that you have struggled with fat loss in the past. And maybe it's going to be the key to your breakthrough with fat loss in the future for your future self. So if you've ever felt like you're doing all the things and you're still not getting the results you want, today's episode is for you. We're going to talk about why fat loss is not actually about the outcome. It is about the journey. It's about the habits. It's ultimately the identity that you build along the way. We're going to talk about why fat loss is an identity shift. It's not an outcome. And why, if you want that $1 million body, you have to earn it to keep it.
Okay, what are we talking about?
What do you mean, what are we talking about?
You've given me all the descriptors, but you haven't said actually what it is.
We're talking about identity. We're not talking about outcome. We're talking about what transformation really is and how some people are focused so much on the outcome that they never work towards changing their identity.
They're worried about the destination, not about the ride.
Yes, correct. And that is a problem, because that's not going to help you get to your goal. And so, well, let's start here. So for most women who come into fat loss, they're hyper-focused on the result. They're saying to me in meetings, I want to lose 30 pounds. I want a smaller waist. I want to wear a size 6 again. But here's the thing. If you are outcome focused, you can actually sabotage your success because you're focused on the wrong thing.
So instead of being focused on eating healthier, moving more, having good lifestyle choices, focused on a number, you can self-sabotage.
That's correct. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you're focused on the end goal only, and you're not focused on any of the progress that's happening along the way, or the shifts that are happening along the way, whether it's a mind shift or a meal shift or a micro habit or a muscle building shift.
Okay.
So, here's the deal. Like, if you're focused on the outcome and then that scale doesn't move for a couple days, or maybe it's been 2 weeks and your jeans still fit the same. Maybe your progress photos don't look that different after a few weeks. What's going to happen? Your brain is going to scream, this is not working. And then you're going to quit. So if you think something's not working, you quit and you self-sabotage, you binge, you fall right back into the habits that got you stuck in the first place. So let me stop and give you an example. Okay, so let's say I'm going to wave a magic wand, and tomorrow you are going to be my client that wakes up with your dream body. I'm going to wave my magic wand, boom, your waist is snatched, your shoulders are sculpted, your butt is lifted, you're walking around in your perfect goal body. Here's the question. Would you know how to maintain that body? I'm going to say no. Because here's what I'm going to ask. Do you know how to train hard and progressively in the gym? Do you understand that body means you have to understand your calories and your protein goal, and you have to eat to support that body? Do you know that body needs sleep as a priority? Like it's your job. Do you know that you have to take certain supplements that will help you with recovery or maybe to support your hormones. Does that body know how to navigate social events, weekends, vacations? So I'm going to go out on a limb and say, nope, you would not be able to maintain that body. Even if I gave it to you, if I waved my magic wand and let you wake up with your perfect body tomorrow, you would not know how to maintain that body because you don't know how. You don't exactly. You don't know. You don't have the habits that you had. So let me put it another way. If I handed you $1 million business tomorrow, could you run it successfully? The answer is no. Most people could not because they didn't build the business. If you didn't build that business, you didn't build the habits that created that business, you didn't build the mindset, you didn't build the skills along the way, then you didn't become the type of person who could sustain that level of success.
Yeah. Okay. So this is, I've never thought about this before, but it makes total sense. What do you hear about every single person that wins the lottery? Every single person.
Right.
They end up worse off and they ruin their life.
Absolutely.
Because let's be honest, statistically, if you play the lotto, that's a poor person tax. Typically, if you look across the board, the people who play the lotto the most are people who don't have a ton of money.
Okay.
And so if you're a person who doesn't have a ton of money and you
don't
suddenly
know how to deal with that kind of success.
And you're going to go in and you're going to have no idea how to manage it. You're going to have everyone in your family coming at you trying to borrow and needing favors, and they've got ideas.
Right.
And
you're going to spend unwisely.
And you're going to, and it's going to, I mean, hell, if someone handed me $100 million right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably do some stupid stuff too.
I mean, yeah. Of which, if anybody's out there and wants to hand us $100 million, we are here for it.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to get at though, is that the real transformation is the process. Transformation, and I say this all the time, it's one of the truths of Form Fit. Transformation is not something that happens to you in the future. Transformation is something that happens to you today, right now, in your very next decision you make. That is part of your transformation. The number on the scale is just a receipt for the transformation. It's not the transformation itself. The transformation happens when it's a Wednesday and you say no to something that doesn't serve your goal. When you show up at the gym on a Friday, even when you're tired. When you choose consistency over intensity. When you learn to lift with purpose. When you manage your emotions without food. When you say yes to yourself daily. Those things are part of your transformation. Those are the things that move the needle so that when you have the receipt, when you do step on the scale and see that goal weight, when you hit that number, you can maintain it because you've built it. You created it. You earned that $1 million body and you have to earn it.
Interesting. It's an interesting perspective I've never considered.
Yeah. So what can we practically take away? So I'm going to give you 5 ways that you can shift from outcome focused to identity focus. Because again, if you're so focused on, I've got 30 pounds to lose and I've only lost 2 pounds this month. I mean, there's a whole book about that. It's called The Gap and the Gain. and you're focusing on the wrong thing. You're focusing on the outcome, right? So we have to shift outside of chasing our outcomes and into transforming our identity. So 5 ways. Number 1, I need you to work on setting behavior-based goals, not outcome goals. So instead of, I want to lose 30 pounds, I want you to say, I'm going to hit 120 grams of protein 5 days this week. That is a behavior-based goal, right? That's not an outcome-based goal. Or I'm going to walk 8,000 steps 6 out of 7 days this week. That is a behavior-based goal. So we're going to basically crack down on what behavior does your ideal self have? And how can we move the needle towards that behavior? And that is the type of goal I want you to set, not an outcome-based goal. And that is the focus that I want you to have. Number 2, I want you to track your habits, not just your weight on the scale. So I have a habit tracker. Use a habit tracker to record your consistency with calorie deficit, your consistency with hitting your protein goal, your consistency with movement, whether that be walking or intentional strength training. Track your habits with water, sleep, mindset. Celebrate those wins because they matter. They matter so much more than that daily number on the scale, because it's those habits that are going to get you to your goal. Number 3, I want you to speak in identity type statements. So saying things like, I am the kind of woman who lifts heavy. I do not skip workouts. I fuel my body with protein.
As opposed to what?
As opposed to saying that you wish you were the type of person.
So you're saying phrase it assuming you're already that person.
Yes.
Okay.
Already identify as the type of person.
If you're trying to lose 30 pounds, get your doctorate, whatever, start your own business.
Right. You don't want to have the thought, I'm never,
Just
ever.
start acting like that. Start acting like the person you want to be.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So how do you start acting like a professional wrestler / private investigator? I don't understand. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Is that what you want to be?
Yeah. I want to. Okay.
A private investigator wrestler?
Yeah. Kind of like a Tom Selleck. I mean, there's a little bit of that. Because I really like the whole like mustache and the short shorts. I don't know if you notice, like that's kind of like a vibe I'm going for.
It's made a comeback, the whole mustache, but short shorts.
That's what I do. I'm literally wearing short. I'm wearing 6-inch inseam shorts right now.
Are
and
you
I have
really?
a mustache.
I didn't notice. I didn't notice your shorts, but I did notice the mustache.
It's why I'm trying to do squats 3 days a week to build my legs out. Oh my God, you don't even look at me.
I'm gonna have to make note of these short shorts you have on.
They're just I don't wear knee length shorts anymore. I don't wear cargo shorts.
Oh, okay. So they're not like basketball type shorts. They're not that long. They're not that short.
Running
shorts. They're not
shorts.
that short. Maybe they're running shorts. Okay. I guess I'm used to seeing you in them.
And that's literally all I wear.
He works from y'all.
Yeah, I've decided I don't want to take a regular job because I don't want to have to wear pants.
Yeah, he does work from home just like me. So yeah, he wears shorts every day. And I wear yoga pants every day. Yeah. It's kind of nice.
So anyway, yeah. So professional wrestler / private investigator driving a
what is what you want to identify as. So you've got to start acting like that.
Yeah. I got to really think this through.
I'm gonna let you.
Got to keep doing the curls for the girls.
Right.
Okay. All right. Go on.
All right. So yeah, what you don't want to do is you don't want to speak the negativity of, I'm never going to be that person. I just don't know why I always sabotage myself. I don't even want to go to the gym. All of those things. Mm-hmm. Like, even if deep down you're like, oh, I really don't want to go to the gym. You tell yourself, I am the type of person who is consistent. I am the type of person who will consistently go to the gym at least 3 times a week.
Yeah. And on a side note,
and it doesn't have to be the gym. It can be working out, strength training at home, but you get the idea.
Whatever the thing is, I can tell you from having felt that a million times, if you just do it, even if you have to mail it in, you're never regretting it.
This is true.
Even
if you go and you get 10 minutes in.
You get 10 minutes in and you're like, that was not my best showing. But right. You never regret it.
Absolutely. In fact, today I was planning on getting to the gym early so that I could get in extra steps on the treadmill before my workout. Did I get to the gym early? Nope. Failed. So I got my strength training in just like I knew I would. And then I got on the treadmill afterwards. And I thought, okay, I'm going to do 30 minutes. I was not having it. I was just not there, wasn't wanting to do it. And I got off the treadmill 20 minutes later, and I didn't do 30, but I did 20. But I'm still proud that I got on it and did 20. I'm not.
Some
I'm
days
not upset
that's all you
myself.
can do. Even for you.
Yes.
I mean, like I say, even for me, like I'm anything special. But the point is like I'm a person who's worked out very consistently for several years. And yeah, there's days where I'm just like, I would rather slam my in a sliding glass door exercise, but you do it. You just got to do it because that's the person you want to be.
Number 4, I want you to reflect on your growth, and not just reflect on your growth once a month, weekly. I want you to do it every single week. I want you to ask yourself, what did I learn this week? What am I proud of this week? What got easier this week? What are my wins this week? In my one-on-one coaching, we have a weekly check-in with our clients. Our coaches at FormFit do a weekly check-in with clients. And we ask our clients every single week, what are your wins? And list them. And not only do they do that online, but they also, if they come to my Zoom Day Tuesday, because we Zoom with our one-on-one clients every Tuesday, we ask, it's how we start our meeting. What are your wins? And everybody has to list their win because we need to reflect on how we're growing, what we're proud of, what got easier. Does it mean we're all perfect and we're all like getting to our goal every single week? No. Do we have struggles, and do we talk about our struggles in our Zoom Day too? Absolutely we do. But a true sign of transformation, even if the scale isn't budging, is focusing on your weekly growth or your weekly wins. And number 5, play the long game. I cannot say that enough. Play the long game.
I feel like that's like a very difficult thing from a cultural perspective, because I feel like everything in our culture is short-term focused. We don't think in terms of 50 years or 100 years or even 10 years.
Right.
Everything is, what's next quarter?
Right.
Are we hitting our numbers yet?
Right.
Are we get there yet? Oh, that's 2 quarters in a row. We got to start laying people. We got to start cutting people. It's
right.
Like, well, that's not, you're like so short focused. Like, how are you going to ever grow and expand if you can't get past that? I don't know. That's a little bit more of a critique of society, but I think it still applies.
Yeah, it does. It's funny because we actually had a conversation about that in our Zoom Day Tuesday. This past Tuesday, one of the ladies said she had an aha moment, and her aha moment was when her Coach Shannon, shout out to Coach Shannon, she reached out and said, hey, you know what? Like, you're going to have to be that person that you are now. You're going to have to make those decisions and be that person for the rest of your life. Welcome to your new identity, basically. Mm-hmm. And it was an aha moment for the client. She was like, wow, yeah, she's right. This is my new identity. This is who I am now. And this is who I'm going to have to be for the rest of my life if this is what I want. And the other great news, I think, is that this client also felt that it was completely doable and sustainable because she's happy with where she's at. And she doesn't feel overwhelmed or restricted or any of those things by the plan that she is on. Yeah.
And if I could offer like a word of encouragement to anyone, is that you're going to get to a point where you just like look up one day and you go, I'm a different person.
Right.
And like, because sometimes I stop and I look back and I think like, man, I have lost like 80 pounds. I'm in way better shape. I'm not a drunk. I'm not an idiot anymore.
Well, I mean, most days. Yeah.
But like, and it's like, I don't worry. I mean, like, obviously, like, pounds go up, pounds go down, but I don't really, I'm not really worried.
Right.
I don't lose any sleep if I put on 10 pounds in the holidays, because it's like, okay, I know I got to buckle down a little bit, but it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Like that's who I am now.
It is. And I think that is probably one of our biggest wins from the entire transformation that we've made,
And it just kind of happens.
Is the fact that we've changed our identity so much, we are not fearful of gaining the weight back.
Yeah.
And it's like, we know because our brains are wired to know what to do. And this is just, it's become life.
Yeah. Just like your habit in college was to get up and do X, Y, and Z. And then one day you graduate and you move on to the next thing. And then like all those things change. Like that can happen again.
Right.
You can graduate again in life and, and kind of shift what you're doing.
Yes.
There's nothing that says that at 35 or 45, that this is it from till now till the grave.
Right. Fit, strong, healthy women did not get there in 4 weeks. They did not get there in 8 weeks. They didn't get there in 12 weeks. Y'all, fit, strong, healthy women, it takes a lot of consistency, many, many months of, and years. And you have to fall in love with the process. And when you fall in love with the process, because it is who you are, that's when the results happen. That is when you start getting to your goal. So your dream body is not something that you arrive at. That $1 million body has to be earned. It's something that you have to build with daily actions, small decisions, new beliefs, and a new identity. So I am going to challenge you to stop chasing your outcome. I'm very serious about this. Stop chasing in your brain, I've got 30 pounds to lose. And I want you to start living like the woman who already has what you want, because she is the transformation. She's already inside of you. She is waiting to be unleashed. She is there. So as a recap, I want you to set behavior-based goals, not outcome goals. Track your habits. Speak in identity statements. I am the person who. Reflect on growth. In other words, count your wins every single week and play the long game. If you are looking for coaching, or you're looking for weight loss resources, or you need to calculate your calorie deficit, maybe you want some low calorie cookbooks, you can find all of those things at thecaloriedeficitqueen.com. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Transform Yourself. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a review. It really, really helps when y'all do that. Share the love. And until next time, keep shining, keep smiling, and keep transforming yourself.
Adios.